going on, everyone? I have limited time to take this old quiver, which I've used for a number of years. It's just kind of odd to carry, and I want to turn one of the bamboo quivers that I made into a hunting quiver. So I've got some materials, and I'm going to take you guys along. So yeah, go ahead and watch. All right, so this is the quiver we're going to use. Of course, the top, and then the bottom. The bottom is solid. So what I'm going to do is going to take some foam. I'm going to find how big it needs to be and probably cut that into equal size squares. Probably 9 of them, so I'd have 9 layers here. And then eventually shave that out to where it fits into the bottom of the bamboo. And then the broadheads will be able to stick into this, into the whatever that square is. I'll pick a pattern and it'll fit in there. So that's going to be the bottom. And the top is we're just going to take a piece of felt, probably double it on itself, and then line this top edge so the arrows aren't able to bang against this. So the fletch is going to kind of buffer the arrows from hitting each other. The felt is going to buffer the arrows from hitting the edge, and the foam is going to keep everything rigid and kind of stuck in place. So yeah, we're going to try and do that. I just want to figure out now how big these squares need to be, and then I can go from there. So yeah, I forgot to turn the camera back on. Boo. But so what I did is the stack of foam that we had glued together, I went ahead and started pushing it in here. I'm actually going to use a flashlight to make sure it's pushed all the way down. So you should be able to see that. Foam that's in there right there. So it seems like it's seated in the bottom pretty well. Now we're going to see if we can arrange the arrows in here to kind of hold the tips so they're not rattling around. Now, in the back, I'm going to do some small game tips. It's always good to have 1 or 2 of those with you. I think I'm going to take 2 this week. There. There. Oh, and that's a problem that I was thinking might happen. That didn't work. Back to the drawing board. All right, so we had to do some quick thinking, and we've come up with a solution. Because what I did wasn't working at all. So what I ended up doing, I'm not sure if you can see that or not, is the foam that we were using, we ended up putting 2 pieces on top, And I'm gonna try and get that one inside there to line up a little bit better. But that takes up enough space to where the arrows don't jiggle around at all. So I'm gonna put the arrows, I'm gonna try and line that up, and then I'm gonna put the arrows in there and shake this around so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. That actually works a lot better when they're not lined up, just because it kind of provides more tension. That's much better, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. And then I'll just keep these extra squares in there with me. If something were to fall out or if it happens with me, these take up next to no space, and I can put that in a backpack somewhere. And I can refine this more a little bit after that hunt. So that's gonna be easy enough. I might cut instead of a 3x3, maybe cut a 3" by 5 to take up most of that interior, put the arrows in there, and then have another piece like this that'll actually cinch everything down. But I can work on that. I could also line this with fur. I had a buddy, Brent, who actually bought one of my quivers at the TBOF, and he lined it with some rabbit fur that he got at, I don't remember which gathering it was. It was something with a different archery club. And he lined the whole inside of it with rabbit fur and then lined it in. So this hull right here had fur coming around and also up on the top. And he had, I think, 4 or 5 arrows in there, and he shook it real hard and didn't make a sound. So that was really neat. But I really just want to use this. So I'm also going to change out these D-rings. I'm going to put some paracord. I'm going to make a loop with a knot on one end and then push the loop through here so the knot is at the bottom, and then I'm going to remove this. So I'm going to make just essentially a loop with a knot. The loop is going to be pushed underneath these strands here, and the knot is going to stay at the bottom. That is going to keep the knot from being able to be pulled through, and then I'll be able to hook up to here. Just because I want to get rid of that chinging noise while I'm walking. It doesn't really move around a lot, but this itself just could make noise. And if it was just hooked to paracord, it most likely is not going to make noise. So I think this is going to work for the arrows. I'm gonna have to sharpen these, of course, and I'm probably going to load this quiver up with these broadheads just in case. There's no way I'm ever gonna make 9 shots, but if we get into some good sign, I might remove the small game tips for the night hunt, put the broadheads in there just in case. Okay, so it is possible to take the D-ring out and put the loop in. Now, of course, this also can be improved upon if I made the loop longer, maybe did the knot on this end. The loop could come through and then back this way, right underneath the knot. So then it would cinch on itself. But I can always change this in the future if I need to. So I will try to film the second half so you guys can see how I do the bottom. It wasn't pretty. I used a big, like a chainsaw screwdriver to wedge underneath here. And then a lot of people don't know, but most paracord has multiple strands inside of it. I just took one of those apart, or took one out, fed that through, and then went in the loop on one end, and then back through the other way, and pulled it through. But yeah, I'll show you guys how I do that. Last D-ring just kind of bent out. I don't know if this one will or not. The last one just kind of bent. These were one of the first ones that I got, and they were not great. My idea was what I'm doing now is I would like to fully use paracord just because I like how it looks. Plus, there's nothing that's gonna bend. I should have. Put that knot the other way, but can't change it now. I probably could if I spent a little bit of time on it, but. So the knots don't touch me. This one's down low, the other one's up on my back. But yeah, I think this is gonna work out pretty good. Actually kind of keeps them from making noise. I would like to figure out a solution to do paracord through this connection and then be able to connect it to here. So how I'll normally go into the woods, have my backpack, just like that. I think that's going to work out pretty good. Done really, I don't think it gets a whole lot better than being able to use something in the woods when you're hunting that you made. Next step is learning to make bows, but that's going to be a while. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. I can improve this. I have figured out ways just in the process of doing this that I will be able to improve it. So that's good. Improvement is always good. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I'm going to use this. I'm actually going to take that quiver with me as well, with the backup broadheads in there. But I'm going to use this when we go hunting this weekend. So that's my little DIY. The first part failed, but I figured out how to make the failure work. And of course, everything, like I said, is going to be improved upon from here. But I'm pretty excited for it, so I will see you guys in the next video.